In terms of other LEGO sets that may be included in LEGO Dimensions, I think LEGO Elves is an absolute shoo-in. Now, this is an advancement of the LEGO Friends franchise, which is kind of aimed at girls, but takes that into a much more video game kind of world. Each of the sets revolves around trying to hunt down a key to return at the hero elves back to their homeland through a portal. And you can see that this portal here, once you have all the keys in place, opens, and it's very similar to the portal we're seeing in LEGO Dimensions. And I think if they're going to be looking at expansions for LEGO Dimensions to attract a broader audience, perhaps get in more younger girl players, then LEGO Elves has to be surely where they'll go next. Hi there, I want to talk more about LEGO Dimensions. Now, if you've tracked with Family Gamer TV over the past few weeks, you'll have known that we had rumoured the game originally, and we had some close looks at what our kids thought they might like the game to be. And then last week, of course, Warner and TT Games announced the official details on LEGO Dimensions. And so we ran that trailer, we got quite a lot of information, but since the trailer has come out, LEGO Dimensions has been tweeting, there's been some press hands-on, some demonstrations for the Press Association, and lots more details exactly about what LEGO Dimensions will offer. So let's look in detail at pricing, at features, at functions, at characters, at packs, and how it compares to Skylanders, Disney Infinity and Amiibo. Now, as you've probably seen, this is another Toys to Life experience, but it's got one big difference. The toys in LEGO Dimensions are much more toy-like, much more actual toys than we've seen of the plastic figurines you get in the likes of Skylanders, Disney Infinity, and even maybe Amiibo. These are proper toys, the sorts of things you'd be playing with anyway, but they also work in the video game to unlock characters. Now, this comes at a price because the starter pack for LEGO Dimensions is £100 or thereabouts. That's quite a lot more than we were used to paying for Skylanders, Disney Infinity and those sorts of games, and it sort of takes that investment more into the lines you'd spend on a console rather than on one game. Now, when a game comes out, that £100 will get you the starter pack on around September the 27th. You'll get the LEGO Toy Pad Reader. Now, this is the replacement of the Disney Infinity base or Skylanders portal. You'll get minifigures for Batman with a Batmobile, you'll get Gandalf, and you'll get Wildstar. So to me, this suggests that in that original game, you'll get those universes, the DC Comics, Batman, the Lord of the Rings, and the LEGO movie areas of the game right from the off. Now, in addition to that, there's a whole load of packs that you can expand the game with. Now, one pack in particular is very special. It's the level packs. Now, this expands not only the characters you've got in the game, but also the worlds you can visit. And here we're seeing the first modularization of LEGO Dimensions, the first of many packs we'll be seeing that expand the game's worlds, the game's missions, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Now, in this pack, as you can see, for £24.99 in the UK, you get a DeLorean vehicle, you get a character, Marty McFly, of course, and you get his hoverboard gadget. Now, all those things will work in the game. As with all the characters, if you place your toy minifigure on its base, on the LEGO Dimensions toy pad, then they will appear in the game and you'll be able to use them while they're on that base. But particularly interesting, I think, in the level pack is how they're describing it. It expands the game experience, to quote them, with a level pack that contains a whole new mission-based game level, along with a minifigure, a vehicle and gadgets to build in game. Now, it's that phrase of using a new mission-based game level that I think suggests that we'll see in this game an open world space where you can use all the characters and where you essentially free roam and do your thing in that open world experience. But you'll also see particular special mission-based levels in much more of a story-driven sort of arena with a campaign mode. Now, but what's nice is that unlike Disney Infinity, and LEGO Dimensions have been very clear at pushing this, is that you'll be able to use any of the franchise characters in any of those mission-based levels, so anywhere in the game. Now, that's good because you get much more value out of the different characters you buy, depending on how you expand your game. But particularly as a parent, you don't have to track which figures work in which game, and you can analyse where you're going to get the best value for your family. Another way to expand the game is by adding characters. Now, this doesn't add new levels to the game, but it means you can bring in characters, potentially in that open world space, if that is as we're suggesting it, but certainly in the mission-based levels as well, and you can use them anywhere. Now, these are around $14.99 in the UK in pounds, and they bring in characters both from the DC universe, but also from Lego itself, and also other Disney properties as well. So we have the DC Cyborg, DC Wonder Woman, Lego Movie Bad Cop, Lego Movie Benny, he's a favourite of mine and my kids love him too, Lego Movie Emmett, Lord of the Rings Gimli, Lord of the Rings Gollum, and again you can see each of these comes with a vehicle of sorts, or a sort of a sidekick. Lord of the Rings Legolas, Ninjago Jay, Ninjago Naya, Ninjago Zane, and Wizard of Oz, Witch of the West. And it gives Lego an opportunity to bring in franchises we saw at the Toy Fair, things like Scooby-Doo, that maybe wouldn't warrant a full-on video game from TT, but would warrant maybe some levels and maybe some extra characters to come in. I'd love to see a Ghostbusters pack as well, and I'd also love to see some of the Simpsons Lego minifigures. In terms of other Lego sets that may be included in Lego Dimensions, I think Lego Elves is an absolute shoo-in. Now, this is an advancement of the Lego Friends franchise, which is kind of aimed at girls, but takes that into a much more video game kind of world. Each of the sets revolves around trying to hunt down a key to return at the hero elves back to their homeland through a portal, and you can see that this portal here, once you have all the keys in place, opens, and it's very similar to the portal we're seeing in Lego Dimensions. And I think if they're going to be looking at expansions for Lego Dimensions to attract a broader audience, perhaps get in more younger girl players, then Lego Elves has to be surely where they'll go next. Also, potentially other Disney properties will come in. Of course, there's a conflict here because Disney Infinity may be the place where Disney wants to put its Toys to Life kudos in the main, and particularly with Star Wars coming, I think it's unlikely we're going to see Lego Dimensions bring in Star Wars packs as well, but who knows, time will tell. Now, the final way to expand your Disney Dimensions experience is with team packs. Now, these come in at around £30 in the UK, and accordingly they cost about twice as much as one of those fun packs because they include twice as many characters and vehicles. You get a character and a vehicle, and you can see in the first of the team packs is for Lego Ninjago, and in it we have Cole, Kai, the Blade Bike of course, and the Boulder Bomber. So there you go, that's the way you'll be able to expand Lego Dimensions as you choose where to invest your cash. Now, of course, the biggest pill for parents to swallow here is the price. The starter pack and expansions are not cheap. Will families want to invest that extra money? And it's kind of easy to criticise Lego for squeezing more money out of families, but Dimensions is the first of the Toys to Life console experiences that really offers both a toy and a video game, rather than just a line of collectible plastic figures that maybe don't work quite as well in the toy field. My kids enjoyed the Swap Force figures, particularly on Skylanders, because of that articulation, because they were closer from toys, but most of the figures in Toys to Life are really collector's items rather than toy things. So here, as a family, you're getting both a toy and a video game NFC feature at the same time. At a recent demonstration for the Press Association, it was interesting to see that the Lego Dimensions toy pad supported up to 7 of those NFC little discs, and you could see that on the front there you'd probably fit 3 minifigures on each side and have 1 space for the vehicle. Now, this high number of characters suggests that maybe we're going to see more than just a 2-player multiplayer experience. It would be able to accommodate 4-player multiplayer, certainly, and my kids would love that. That's a real sort of holy grail, I think, of family gaming, to have that 4-player experience. But equally, I think we'll be able to bring in both non-player characters and player characters and switch between them, as you do in those TT games, and you can choose your lineup. Now, the vehicle slot at the back is particularly interesting because in the trailer it really looks like you can build the vehicle in your certain way, and then the game will recognise that and bring it in to match the style of building you've done. But the technology we've seen so far does seem like it's a single scan of that NFC chip in the base that the vehicle sits on, and doesn't look likely to actually match what you're doing with the build like we saw in LEGO Fusion. Now, this can seem like a minor point, but I guess parents need to be confident that what they see in the advertising matches what they're going to be experiencing when they get the toy home. Now, this brings us to the toys themselves. The minifigures, for the first time in an NFC range, can be detached from the bases that they come with. That's what we've been told in a tweet from LEGO Dimensions. Now, I think this is a nice way of trying to avoid either the video game overshadowing the toy or the toy overshadowing the video game, we spoke to Søren Larsen, the president of LEGO for Americas, and he emphasised that they didn't want to see the digital gaming space overshadow, or in his words, cannibalise the physical play. Now, by letting a child detach the figure from the base, they can then play with them, and that minifigure functions in their LEGO collection like all their other minifigures. But it creates this strange separation where that close relationship, that sort of magic of the toy itself being the place, the site where those interactions were happening on the game, it was your character you brought in, now is kind of detached, because the real saving and the real functionality is there on the base of the toy figure. Now, LEGO Dimensions did say that you have to have the minifigure toy on the base to bring it in, but still it feels like a bit of a stretch and a bit of a question, I think, for families to decide whether that enhances or deteriorates the experience of having this sort of toys to life minifigure. My hope was actually more along the lines of the recent Amiibos announced for Yoshi's Woolly World. Now, these fabric wool Amiibos, as you can see here, they have the NFC tech inside them, so they're a real toy with that tech in them as well, and they're just placed on the Wii U gamepad. Now, of course, it would be difficult to do that for a minifigure, because it needs to stand. It needs to stay put. You don't just touch it on then remove it. But it feels like they could have included that NFC chip in the minifigure, and then some sort of seat or chair for the figure to sit on the base. And I know my kids would have much preferred having a proper smart LEGO minifigure with all the tech inside it, rather than having this slightly strange detachment of the minifigure and the base. And as a parent, one thing I'm kind of dreading is the fact that they may well lose some of those NFC bases. That's a pretty small piece of plastic, and my kids are particularly good at losing things in the strangest of places, and we don't find them for weeks and weeks, which may mean that it could then not access a particular character in the game. And this brings us on to another part of the sort of information we're slowly gleaning about the game, is that on the box it states that you need an internet connection is required to play. Now, I'm not quite sure why this is the case, but one thought I had was perhaps this actually registers the minifigures that you've got and used in the game, so that if you did lose the base, you could then still access them in the game. Perhaps it's something to do with updates, but certainly I think the assumption that every family has their video game console online is something of a misnomer. We're, more often than not, we're connected online, but sometimes with this way we've got things set up, those consoles aren't online. If we had to have an online internet connection to play the game at all, that's going to be a slight hassle. Now, I think whichever way you slice it, LEGO Dimensions is an exciting development for the Toys to Life space, and certainly shows that it's got legs and it's by no means diminishing. So with Skylanders, with Disney Infinity, with Amiibo, and now with LEGO Dimensions, we've got 4 main players in that console space, and each of them offers something different. So it's going to be key come September that LEGO are good at communicating what's unique, what warrants that extra price for LEGO Dimensions, and the forward-going experience. How are they going to support that? How are they going to offer families value going forward for their investment? Now, do subscribe to Family Gamer TV if you've not already. That means that when we have videos like this, we can keep you up to date. We can pop a little note in your inbox to say, hey, there's a new video. And also it means you're part of the Family Gamer TV experience. Comment on the video. We'd love to know which of your favourite franchises in LEGO. Are there particular games, particular sets you'd like to see come to the franchise of LEGO Dimensions? Do you think it's a good idea? Are you going to be investing in this, or is this one Toys to Life game too far for you and you're moving on to sort of more traditional games? Are you more excited about LEGO Jurassic Park? Are you more excited about LEGO Marvel The Age of Ultron game that's coming up as well? So let us know in the comments and we'll be sure to reply. We pretty much reply to everyone. But for now, that's all we've got time for, so we'll see you again soon.